I'll be somewhere and I'll see a Coheed and Cambria tattoo. I know where they are when I find them. And I'm like, hey, I love your tattoo. And they're like, oh, I love your tattoo too. What's the last concert you went to? And then all of a sudden, you're my family. Hey, I'm Nicole Elisa, and this is my Inked Soul Garage. I tattoo at GreyStone Tattoo Company near Columbus and Gahanna. My first tattoo, I was 18 years old, and I was running around China. And I had just been walking past this little studio, and there were just koi fish everywhere, little drawings and watercolors, and that's what I wanted since I was young. And I walked in there, neither of us spoke the same language, and she just drew it on me. Of course, as a newbie, wanted it on my rib cage, sat for 3 hours, and yeah, that's pretty awesome. I've had it for over 10 years now. This is a little guy. When I graduated, I got a job at a university working as a laboratory assistant, and it was an extremely lonely job. It was really boring. I at first was so excited. It's like, oh, I'm pumped, I'm a scientist, you know, super cool. And then I realized every single day was exactly the same, and I got no human interaction. And so I fumbled through trying to find my way back to my passion, which was art, and eventually found a studio that would allow me to manage, and eventually got an apprenticeship and had a very traditional apprenticeship, and I'm very grateful for that experience. My first tattoo was on a good buddy of mine, and he wanted this little cartoon of this devil baby. And I first practiced it on a pig's foot, because that's how I learned, which I've been in and out of veganism, so it was kind of terrifying. But yeah, it was really great. I practiced line work before I tattooed on him, and I just nailed everything, and it was so great, and I felt really good about it. I think my personality is reflected in my work because I'm a pretty outgoing person, and I'm a people person, and every piece that I do can be a little bit more colorful, or it has attention to detail and has like fun textures in it. One of the biggest reasons I got into tattooing is because I loved the idea of it not just sitting in a basement collecting dust. I like the idea of it climbing a mountain and hugging people and having life experiences, and then going through the life cycle that we all go through. The most rewarding tattoo is the biomech piece that I have done. Biomech is probably one of the hardest art forms in tattooing that I've seen, because there are so many rules. You can't really break the rules until you know how to apply them, and what makes a good bio piece is being able to break those rules. So I felt like I kind of conquered a little bit by being able to do this piece, and it's large, and I look at it and I feel like all of the boxes are checked. For me, that's really huge, to look at a piece and like it. Being a part of the celebration of a tattoo and the little tiny speck of that person's life that we get to be with them for just a little bit of that moment, we didn't realize that we're signing up for such a supportive role in their lives, even if it is a very small time period for them. When they come to us, we have to kind of mentally prepare ourselves for what we're about to get into. Sometimes I'll meditate before I tattoo them. I think about, who am I going to be interacting with today? How do I make sure that I'm providing the space that's going to work for them? And I have to take a little bit away from myself in order to give for them, and be a little bit selfless, because I can't provide that space and also take up that space myself. So when we are presented with this opportunity to be a part of the celebration, sometimes we have to prepare for that. And I think that's one of our biggest roles. We're not just providing a service, we're providing a bit of time in their lives to help them move on from something or grow. How I've been personally affected by suicide, it puts holes in people that you can't really fix, and then everyone's wondering what they could have done better, or how they could have been more supportively there. I think by partnering with Inked Soul, it gives me an ability to talk about it more. I'm wondering, like, how can this conversation be turned around? It's important because I feel like it also helps us figure out where we belong in our community. For example, I get these tattoos. They're really not for anyone other than for me, but what it allows me to do is walk through a crowd, and sometimes people will be like, oh my gosh, is that a tie McEwen piece? Like, shit, you know Ty McEwen? And then I'm home, you know? Like I'm with people who know what this art form is, and then they might also know everything that I know about it, so that now we are connecting. It kind of gives you that ability to find out where you belong. And when you know where you belong and you have that space of comfort and safeness, that's so important. I'm Nicole, Elisa. Thank you so much for watching my Ink Soul Garage.